Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudiraye
Tato Jayamudiraye
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Ashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavate Uttamasloke
Bhagavate Uttamasloke
Bhaktin Bhavadir Naisthiti
Bhaktim Bhavati Naistiki
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Nagagopakumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Nandaya.
Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. Today we are going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, text number 15. So the canto name is The Cosmic Manifestation, and the chapter name is The Pure Devotional Service, The Change in the Heart. Okay, please repeat the slogan behind me. Savai Bhagavato Rājā
Savai Bhagavato Rājā
Pāṇḍaveyo mahā-rathaḥ
Pāṇḍaveyo mahā-rathaḥ
bāla-krīḍanakaiḥ krīḍan
bāla-krīḍanakaiḥ krīḍan
kṛṣṇa-kṛīḍāṁ ādade.
kṛṣṇa-kṛīḍāṁ ādade.
Word by word meaning, please repeat behind me. Saha,
Saha,
he.
he.
Why,
Why,
certainly.
certainly.
Bhāgavataḥ,
Bhāgavata,
a great devotee of the Lord.
a great devotee of the Lord.
Rājā,
Rājā,
Mahārāja Parīkṣit.
Mahārāja Parīkṣit.
Pāṇḍaveyaḥ,
Pāṇḍaveyo,
grandson of the Pāṇḍavas.
grandson of the Pāṇḍavas.
Mahā-rathaḥ,
mahā-rathaḥ,
a great fighter.
a great fighter.
Bāla,
Bala,
while a child.
while a child.
Krīḍanakaiḥ,
Śrīdhara
with play dolls.
with play dolls.
Krīḍan,
krīḍām,
playing.
playing.
Kṛṣṇa,
Kṛṣṇa,
Lord Kṛṣṇa.
Lord Kṛṣṇa.
Krīḍām,
krīḍām,
activities.
activities.
Yaha,
Yaha,
who. Ādade,
ādade,
accepted.
accepted.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charna of the A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Translation, please repeat behind me. Mahārāja Parīkṣit,
Mahārāja Parīkṣit,
the grandson of the Pāṇḍavas,
the grandson of the Pāṇḍavas,
was from his
very
childhood
childhood,
a great devotee of the Lord.
a great devotee of the Lord.
Even while playing with dolls,
Even with playing with dolls,
he used to worship
Lord
Kṛṣṇa
Kṛṣṇa
by imitating the worship of the family deity.
of the family deity.
Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita 6.41, it is stated that even a person who has failed in the proper discharge of yoga practice is given a chance to take birth in the house of Devot Brahmanas or in the houses of the rich men like Kshatriya kings or rich merchants. But Mahārāja Parīkṣit was more than that because he had been a great devotee of the Lord since his previous birth, and as such he took his birth in an imperial family of Kurus and especially that of the Pāṇḍavas. So from the very beginning of his childhood, he had the chance to know intimately the devotional service of the Lord in his own family. The Pāṇḍavas, all being devotees of the Lord, certainly venerated family deities in the royal palace for worship. Children who appear in such families, fortunately, generally imitate such worship of the deities, even in the way of childhood play. By the grace of the Lord Sri Krishna, we had the chance of being born in a Vaisnava family, and in our childhood, we imitate the worship of Lord Krishna by imitating our father. Our father encouraged us in all respect to observe all functions such as the Radha and Dal Yatra ceremonies. And he used to spend money liberally for distributing prasada to us children and our friends. Our spiritual master, who also took his birth in a Vaishnava family, got all inspirations from his great Vaishnava father, Thakura Bhakti Vinoda. That is the way of all lucky Vaishnava families. The celebrated Mirabai was a staunch devotee of Lord Krishna as the great lifter of Govardhana Hill. The life history of many such devotees is almost the same because there is always symmetry between the early lives of all great devotees of the Lord. According to Jīva Gosvāmī, Mahārāja Parīkṣit must have heard about the childhood pastime of Lord Kṛṣṇa at Vrindavana, for he used to imitate the pastimes with his young playmates. According to Śrīdhara Svāmī, Mahārāja Parīkṣit used to imitate the worship of the family deity by elderly brothers. Śrīla Viśvanātha Cakravartī also confirms the viewpoint of Jīva Gosvāmī. So, accepting either of them, Mahārāja Parīkṣit was naturally inclined to Lord Kṛṣṇa from his very childhood. He might have imitated either of the above mentioned activities, and all of them established his great devotion from his very childhood, a symptom of mahā-bhāgavata. Such mahā-bhāgavatas are called nitya-siddhas, are so liberated from birth. But there are also others who may not be liberated from birth, but who develop a tendency for devotional service by association, and they are called sādhana-siddhas. There is no difference between two in the ultimate issue. And so the conclusion is that everyone can become a sadhana-siddha, a devotee of the Lord, simply by associating with a pure devotees. The concrete example is our great spiritual master, Śrī Nārada Muni. In his previous birth, he was simply a boy of a maid servant, but through association with great devotees, he became a devotee of the Lord of his own standard, unique in the history of devotional service. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnanāñjana-śalākaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna-prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavad Pashasha Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today's slogas, Mahārāja Parīkṣit, he was the grandson of the Pāṇḍavas. So here it is mentioned that from his very childhood, he is the great devotee of the Lord. So here Śrīdhara Gosvāmī is mentioning that even while playing with dolls, he used to worship Lord Kṛṣṇa by imitating the worship of the family deity. So here we can understand that from the very childhood, if a person is a mahā-bhāgavata, so we can understand that from the childhood onwards, he has the quality of worshipping the Lord. So here, Mahārāja Parīkṣit also had a similar quality. When he was a childhood, he used to worship the Lord, imitating whatever the elders are doing. Similar way, they used to imitate with their family deity, whatever they have in the deity, they used to imitate. So here, Prabhupada mentioning the 6.41, Bhagavad Gita 6.41. Here it is mentioned that Prapya Punya Kritam Lokan Ushishvas Saswati Samadahamaha Suchinam Srimatam Gehi Yoga Brishto Abhiyayate. So here it is Krishna, what he is mentioning. The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. So there is the yogi, unsuccessful yogi, who are unable to complete. Unsuccessful means what is our success? Once the person reach a goal, that is success. Here, the unsuccessful yogi, in the sense, the yogi, they wanted to reach the Goloka Vrindavana or reach the abode of the Lord. They are unsuccessful in the back to Godhead. That those yogis, Lord will giving the chance to born in a family of the aristocratic family or aristocratic family who are following the rituals, the Brahmana family or in the richest family, so that they can continue their bhakti from wherever they left. So here, why Prabhupada mentioning this? Because that is a chance. Always the person who is born in such family who are able to take the bhakti, that we can understand that they are the unsuccessful yogi in the previous birth. So here, Kshatriya king is, even though he is born in Kshatriya family, he is born in the Kshatriya family. There is also a Guru dynasty, the Mahārāja Parīkṣit. So he had a chance provided by the Lord to continue his bhakti by take a birth in the Kshatriya family. So from the childhood, he used to play with the dolls. The dolls in the sense, he used to imitate how the parents used to do. Similarly, he used to imitate with the family deity, and he used to take the Ratha Yatra or worshipping the Lord, how the parents are worshipping. Similarly, there is the imitation. And here also Prabhupada mentioning, even in the Prabhupada also, if you read the Prabhupada Leela, even Prabhupada also had a similar kind of resemblance. When he was a childhood, he used to go to the nearby temple, and they used to Krishna temple. He used to worship Krishna there. And while coming, after coming back to home, we used to call all his friends, the small kids, the neighbors, and he used to worship in his home. How the pujari worshipped in the temple, the similar way he used to imitate in his house also. And one day what happened, he wanted to do he saw the Ratha Yatra, the Jagannath Ratha Yatra, Jagannath Baladev Subhayatra Ratha Yatra. So he heard from his father, and he saw the Ratha Yatra in Puri, so that he wanted to imitate. So he asked his father, he wanted the cart so that he will pull the Ratha Yatra in his street. So his father also encouraged that, and his father took him, and they searched for the Ratha. Unfortunately, they found a unused small Ratha in a neighbor's place, and his father gave the money and purchased that. And Prabhupada took that Ratha and it was not in a good condition. He made it good, and he kept the Baladev, Subhatra and Jagannath in the Ratha, and he made a cart festival in his street, and he asked his mother to prepare the prasadam. His father also happily did that, and they did a small Ratha Yatra in front of his house. So that is the way. This is the way the mahā-bhāgavatas resemblance will be there in the childhood itself. And in a similar case with his spiritual master, Śrīla Gosvāmī Maharaj. He is also a son of Bhakti-Vinodha Thakura. So Bhakti-Vinodha Thakura is a great Vaisnava, and he is also in our Guru Parambara, Gaudiya Vaisnava, our ISKCON Guru Parambara. If you see Gaudiya Vaisnava Guru Parambara, he is also one of the Guru. And his son is Bhakti-Siddhas Gosvāmī Maharaj. Even though Bhakti-Vinodha Thakur, he was in the family life, and he was a magistrate, he used to do all the Vaishnava. He is the Vaishnava. He is also mahā-bhāgavata. He used to resemble all the qualities of the mahā-bhāgavatas. So the same qualities, it came to his son also. So China also, from very childhood, he imitated the similar thing. Whatever we are seeing is with the Parīkṣit Maharaj. Similar way, they also play with the doll. And the great thing is, when he took birth, that time there was a Ratha Yatra in Puri. So their house is near to in front of the temple only. The Bhakti-Vinodha Thakur house was in front of the temple only. So when the Bhakti-Siddhas Gosvāmī Maharaj, who is the spiritual master for Srila Prabhupada, when he took birth, that time there was a Ratha Yatra. That time the Ratha was starting from the Puri Jagannath temple, and it is going towards the Ratha Yatra was started, and in between it is stopped in front of this Bhakti-Vinodha Thakur house. So the Ratha, actually, it is said that the Puri Jagannath Ratha Yatra, whenever the Lord wants, then only the Ratha will move. Otherwise, however you are pulled, it won't move. So similar way, it got stopped near the Bhaktivinoda Thakur house. So immediately Bhaktivinoda Thakur came out and they took, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was a first of all, he was a great devotee, and he was in the good position in the he was a magistrate. So they gave the people used to give great respect to him. So he came out from the house. Since there is a newborn, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, during that time, the people who are the public, they can get into the Ratha and they can hug the Lord. They can touch the Lord when during the Ratha Yatra time. So maybe 10, 20 years back also it was there. People can get into the Ratha and they can hug the Lord in the Puri Ratha Yatra. So the similar way that during that time, since it was stopped in front of Bhaktivinoda Thakur house, he took his newborn child, which is Bhakti-Siddhas Gosvāmī Maharaj. There he climbed into the Ratha and he took in front of Jagannath, the baby. So immediately what happened? There is a garland fall from Jagannath and it fell on the Bhakti-Siddhas Saraswati in the neck. So it is on the body of, when he stole a small baby, immediately a garland fell on him. So that means there is the resemblance that these are all the identification that this is Lord is blessed him and he is servant of the Lord. He is a Senapati of the Lord. So these are the resemblance. So these, my childhood onwards, these resemblance are where with these are great Vaishnavas. And Prabhupada mentioned about here two kind of devotees. So there are whatever the devotees like this, the overall from the childhood onwards, they have the quality of bhakti and they are taking the bhakti, they are accepting the bhakti, they are following the whatever their forefathers are doing. They are imitating the bhakti activity. Those kind of devotees are by birth, they are the liberated souls. They are called nitya-siddhas. And other kind of devotees who are all not in the childhood, they may not have the bhakti, but later when they associate with the great pure devotees of the Lord and association of the great devotees, then they also become the devotees. Those kind of devotees are sādhana-siddhas. So we are all call ourselves as a sādhana-siddhas because we had a childhood time, but in our childhood time we played with dolls and all, but we may not have much inclined to bhakti. We could have replicated the same thing whatever our parents were doing. Okay, they say that in my childhood, I could remember that my father was going for the work, my mother was cooking. So these kind of activities we in the play with the playthings we used to do. Okay, somebody act as a mother, then they used to prepare a food, and the father, somebody act as a father, they used to go for a job, and somebody worked as a play as a kids. So this kind of active play we used to play, but this is not a spiritual activity. This is a material activity. We resemble the material activity, but the mahā-bhāgavatas, they resemble the spiritual activities. That's the reason they are all called nitya-siddhas. So we are all, since we are after association with the devotees, then only we got that understanding of the bhakti. Then we started our bhakti. So we are all called sādhana-siddhas and other devotees. So they are all called sādhana-siddhas, who are all after grown up, the person associating with the devotees, those person are sādhana-siddhas. So even in so that is then he was Prabhupada is mentioning about Nārada Muni. So Nārada Muni, when he was in his previous birth, he is also a sādhana-siddhas only. He is not a nitya-siddhas. So it is not necessary, okay, sādhana-siddhas are less than nitya-siddhas, because nitya-siddhas, they are by birth itself, they are doing them. It's not like that. Both are in the equal only. So that's the reason, to clarify that only, Prabhupada is explaining about Nārada Muni. So Nārada Muni, in his previous birth, he was a maid servant son. He signed his form. His mother was a maid servant. She used to do the cleaning activity in the wherever the sadhus used to stay. So that time, she used to go and she used to serve them. During that time, he was Nārada Muni also. He was in the previous birth. He was also going along with his mother, and he saw that what his mother is doing. He was also helping his mother. And he was also seeing whatever the sadhus are doing. The sadhus, they used to chant the holy name of the Lord, and they used to do the yajna, and they used to do all those things. Then what he did, he get the permission from the sadhus, and he took the remnants. So whatever, after having the prasadam, he took the maha-prasadam of the sadhus. That's all. So after having that, then because of this association of those devotees, he became a great devotee of the Lord in his very next birth. So that is the example of sādhana-siddhas. So sādhana-siddhas is not less than the nitya-siddhas. Both are in the equal level. So nitya-siddhas, in the sense of their own, they will start imitate their bhakti from the childhood itself, because by childhood we may not aware that what is bhakti and how to do that, all those stuffs. See, we can see that Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj, by birth himself, he was a devotee. Nobody, he got the association when he was in the womb of the Lord, womb of his mother itself. That time he get the association of the pure devotee. So from the childhood onwards, he resembled the bhakti. So he was preaching about Lord Kṛṣṇa, Lord Vishnu, Lord Kṛṣṇa. All those things he was doing. So these are all the resemblance. By birth itself, they used to have all those qualities. And the sadhana, Narada Muni, if he became a great devotee of the Lord, he was glorified in all the scriptures, and he was a great spiritual master for all the great Rishi Munis. So even he was a spiritual master for Vyasadeva. Because of the Narada Muni's instruction, Vyasadeva wrote this Srimad Bhagavatam. So he became that great, he had that greatness. He was a spiritual master for Prahlad Maharaj also. He was a spiritual master for Dhruva Maharaj. So all these great personalities, he was a spiritual master. Narada Muni was a spiritual master. So, but he was a sadhana-siddha. He was classified as a sadhana-siddha. So it is the sādhana-siddhas and nitya-siddhas, both are equal. So that's a thing here Prabhupada wanted to stress. So the only thing is, we used to have the bhakti. The ultimate goal of our life should be in bhakti, association with the great devotee, and be in the bhakti. That is the only goal. But in Kali Yuga, so what if you see the current trend, the people, how they are spending their time, it is currently not allowing to mingle with other children. So they are seeing the status. Okay, my status is this. My child should play with a similar status. Earlier, when we were in the childhood, nobody will see the status. We used to go on the road, or wherever the mud is there, we used to play on the mud. In the current day, it is people are in the apartment hysteria. It's kind of apartment syndrome. People not allowing their children to go and play with other children also. They are seeing the more hygiene. So it should be a hygienic way. They used to go with they should not touch the mud. They should not touch this, that. But that's the reason that all the children, they are provided with the mechanical way of doing their spending their time, like associate with the mobile, associate with the laptop. So that is the reason they are connecting with unmonitored things, and they are connecting with some of the games. So their mind become absorbed in that, and they become deviate from the path of the normal life itself. So the best thing is to giving to our child is, let them give a bhakti is the best thing. From childhood onwards, even we are not able to do that, perform that. Our father, mother didn't have that much knowledge. So we understand, we are hearing that there are so many bhagavatas, we are hearing that, and also we are seeing in front of us how the children are growing, and how some of we are seeing the recent cases in that even the schooling time itself, the boy used to drink, and he was rushing a car and killed a couple of people. There are so many news we are seeing, the day-to-day activity we are seeing in the newspaper. We are hearing those news. So these are all why it is happening, because even though those kind of people, they born in the richest family, they are unable to cooperate. They are unable to get into the bhakti. So the current day, if they're born in the richest family, it is spoiling them. The people are getting spoiled. There are schools in 8th standard itself, the children are getting into the drug addict. So in Bangalore and Pune kind of cities, the schooling itself, because they are from the richest family, they are provided with so much of money, so much of amenities to enjoy joy. So father and mother, they're not okay. They're not just putting them in a good schools. That's all. They're saying that it is so much of money they are getting, taking the schools are taking. So they'll say they'll teach nicely. But what the children are learning, they are learning to the unwanted things they are learning. They are spoiling their lives. So we should not be the victim. We should not be one of the victim of those kind of activities. So we should take care of our children now itself. We need to deviate them from all those other material attractions. We need to make them into the path of bhakti. So how they will take the bhakti, how you are imitating, you are doing the activities. By seeing that, they will also imitate the same thing in the house. So we also need to we need to worship the Lord, we need to prepare the prasadam, we need to offer it to the Lord, we need to do the kirtan at home, we need to do the chanting, we need to read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So by seeing that, okay, this is the way of life, like that, the children will understand, they will also follow that thing. So if we are stick with the mobile and stick with our time pass with the TV, and we are asking by our kids, okay, read Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavatam, attend that class and the class, that won't help. So we first of all, we need to show how to live. So by seeing us, they will also follow the same thing. So the one thing we need to follow is we need to be a teacher, silent teacher. We should not instruct our children. We need to act in that way so that the children will learn from us. And also, whenever it should not be that, okay, you are continuing your worship and your child is going in the different direction. It should not be like that. We need to make them part of our service also. Whatever the service we are doing, suppose we are doing the flower decoration, call your children, ask him to do little flower arrangements. So keep the flower here, keep the flower there, and wash this small bell, small plate for the Lord. Something like that. We need to some services also we need to give, and ask them when kirtan is happening. Ask them to pull the kilts and ask them to play some kartal or mridanga. Means we need to make them participate so that they will feel that I am also part of this bhakti. So otherwise, what they will think, okay, this is the bhakti is only for my parents, it is not for me. So they will go into the different direction. We will be doing our activities. So even though we need to show ourselves, whatever we are reading in scriptures, the bhakti we need to show to them, and also in the similar way, and also in the other way, we have to bring them in and part of that activities. What are the devotional services we are doing at home? We need to make them also part of it, so that they will also get into the touch or taste of the bhakti. They will come in this. There is a higher chances they can get the bhakti. They won't deviate from the bhakti. So please make sure that your children are coming into the bhakti by seeing you and how you are making them participate in your day-to-day activities of the bhakti. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.